What's up, YouTube fam? It's Dark Angel's Journey. I'm Shakira. So, it is Saturday, and week 7 for me of live trading has just concluded. Some initial thoughts on it. Better, but still no cigar, and that's okay. I mean, it literally has to be okay because, and I'm just pulling up my live trades so I can track and talk about week 7. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So I traded every day. I started the week, again, I'm pulling myself out of a bit of drawdown. And so it's doing relatively well, but I slowly started to creep up in taking too many trades. And that is no bueno. So, the week before I took exactly 2 trades and lost every single one of them, but at least it was just that. Losses minimized. I think on Monday I took 3 trades, so 2 losses and then 1 to where I just covered and recouped the losses. I took 5 trades on Tuesday. So of course that was just big losses. Not big, but losses. I took 3 trades on Wednesday, 3 trades, no losses. And but I didn't take a lot of profits because I'm still working through, it's gone up, retrace, go up. The retracement bothers me, so I'm still working on it. Thursday I took exactly 1 trade, and that was good. And then yesterday I just sort of just bombed everything. Like I'd slowly, hey, kitty's coming in. Slowly working through getting everything back up. But I had some good setups that I didn't take, and that would have netted some good stuff, which is a recurring theme. But he's talking. Hi. What's up? He just had his breakfast, and I've just finished scooping the poopies, and he wants attention. Okay, but I don't know when he last pooped, and I haven't wiped his butt, so he cannot get on my lap. Right, bud? Okay. Anyway, so it's Saturday, so I'm going to go through the week's price action, and take a look at my screenshots, and then walk through what I should have done. So if that sounds like a good time, let's get tiny. And let's be honest, I'm not feeling like super bad about it, but I am working through my what's the word I'm looking for? I am working through my emotions about it, that's for sure. So I took a long walk this morning, I'm meditating, all that good stuff. I have to, otherwise I will go nuts. Just washed his cover for his couch and just put it back so it's all nice and clean for him to pee all over it, because that's what he's going to do, is pee all over it. But that's my boy. If he's gonna do what he's gonna do, he's gonna do what he's gonna do. Okay, so it was a pretty interesting week of trading. I'm not gonna lie, it definitely had a lot of good opportunities if you had the wherewithal to take them. So let's see. I'm just checking my things here. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Somehow I don't appear to have. I'm looking for my 3, 5. Ah, there it is. Sorry. Just sometimes you gotta I'm also contemplating using a calendar to track my winning and losing days so you can kind of see them. And then that way I can share that calendar, since I'm not super willing to share my other notes at the moment, because I take screenshots from my TD account and drop them in there so I can track what I've been doing. But anyway, so let's start on Actually, I guess we can go backwards, right? Let's go to the day. That way I can just deal with the backwards activity. So I didn't do any afternoon trades. And I'm using the new week opening gap and the New York Open app to help with that. So yesterday was a unmitigated hit show. It didn't need to be. If I'm being completely honest with you, it did not need to be because I was actually in a very good trade in the morning that well, not very good, but not bad. So I caught along from here and I got stopped out at 95, right? 95 or whatever it takes or whatever. And then it went up and then, so I got this, it did that, dropped, and then went back up again. So I was trying to get, hold on, let me just make sure. Let me grab a screenshot here. What was I doing? Yeah, so I missed, yeah, so I caught a continuation up here that I was hoping for just a quick, and I got spooked and kicked out here. So the general gist is I took the entry about here, and at this rate I'm usually looking for like 200 ticks or something like that. If I left my stop where it was, or even if I just, with the entry there, just left it where I'd originally put it, which is just above my entry, like right there, then I could have just let it ride until I hit like the 200 or so ticks. And then this lovely shift occurred, like a proper nice shift. But then I started doing stupid things like in the middle of all of this, trying to like catch it up, and getting chopped up. I don't know what I was thinking. I caught a little of this drop. So it took about four something to mitigate a lot of the stupid losses because I don't know, accumulate. I was fine. I was up like 120, nothing crazy. And then I just started acting stupid and I was down like 1,000. And then I grabbed like four something off of these drops. And then I just sort of just stopped. Just stopped. It was crazy. But look at this lovely like shift. Complete disrespect of this. And I'm wondering like with that, honestly, I wouldn't have expected after this high, I wouldn't have expected them to come back in. So maybe another tap of this fair value gap and then drop, which is what they did. No, they didn't tap it at all. This high was super duper protected. Just out of curiosity, if I'd taken the short at the 0.79, I usually have like a 37 tick. I would have been stopped out on that one, which would have sucked. And maybe I would have just waited to see, and then with the drop, like just taken it. I don't know. I had a comment on my last video that was saying like, maybe catch some of the, even if you miss like the main entry, catch some of the move, which is what I did the day before, and I did about 500 on that one. But then of course blew up that whole thing yesterday. In any case, so this is what I caught a little bit of that. And that's, yeah, and then it just melted. And it's one of those scenarios where just respecting drop, not even touching it, just respecting drop. I was very unhappy about all of this because I was in a short and I should have just kept it open and then just, set my stop right there. And then, but I was in that weird panicked state, that, oh my God, I've taken such big losses. I should have, yeah, which is bad, right? Because I got some of the short here and I should have just let it ride and see where it was going to go because the day started out with a giant gap on the bottom, like, and they obviously ran right into it. And even if my whole purpose in life was to get to this, I mean, that's quite a run. You know what I mean? Like, what are we looking at here from this? I mean, wow. That's beautiful. Anyway, so I wouldn't have bothered. I usually don't try to trade like the PM session, but I'm just curious as to what we would have gotten. So, all right, we had a shift that way. It's 2 o'clock. Oh, this is not bad. Shift here, fair value gap would have been a decent long. Not too much drawdown at the 0.79 and a nice run up. Very nice run up. Yeah, so my general problem is discipline. I need lots and lots of it. So much discipline. Anyway, so let's go to Thursday. So that was the FOMC statement by Powell, right? And I was literally I had to take mom to an appointment in the afternoon, so I took a quick morning long, which actually wasn't bad at all. So let's go down here. Let's get over. So like 9:30 happened, and then the thing that really bothered me about this is he was talking and things were meandering about, and then here I was thinking to myself, like, if it taps into this fair value gap like one more time, was that 9:48? Yeah. So if it taps into that fair value gap like one more time, this BC that and go, then that would be like a good entry. But I ended up, and let me go back to my screenshot. Yeah. So my general desire was to take the entry here, but because he was talking and price was sort of just meandering about, I didn't really trust it, so I didn't take it. I ended up grabbing a bit of the run. Oh, hold on. You know, there's a weird 7:30 alarm on my phone for Saturday mornings. I don't know why. Anyway, so I ended up actually like waiting. And then uh, I ended up grabbing a bit of the move upwards right here. And it tapped into like a fair value gap. And I took that. It was just a little 500. Should have been comfortable going up into this new week opening gap, but that's what happened. So I was just hemming and hawing. Usually, I should have just, because I was saying to myself, like, well, we're still pretty bullish. It's still looking pretty bullish. Like if it came back into here, then maybe the halfway point, or just tapped it. So let's see. If I'd done that, my 37, yeah, I wouldn't have been stopped out. I would have got my entry, and then that would have been a nice run to try and get up here. I don't know how long they hit it at noon, so I would have been in this for a while. And my stops would have just kept, going up, this, you know, this bottom, that bottom, that bottom, that bottom, that bottom, that bottom, just locking things in, that bottom, and then just let that ride that bottom. Because 562 ticks. I would have been way in the months. So I really just need to get comfortable. Because if I take a look at, so I use that low, so one standard deviation is just below that. And then if I use, say, this low and that high instead, so that 2.5 was beautiful. Look at that. Yeah. So my main issue right now is that I need to just behave. Let's see what the PM this session did. So, all right. So I'm looking at 1:45, 2 o'clock. So we had a nice, let's look at this shift here. Did we have anything? Yeah. That, nothing. Well, nothing. Then this guy, what happened to it? There you go. So we could see if this is going to turn into an inversion fair value gap, which it did beautifully. It did. So let's see if I'd done some measuring. We have the shift. Body closes. It tapped this. I don't know if I would have trusted it. The failure here, and maybe I would have looked at this to see if I could get an entry. Let's go like that. So 7-9. Let's go. The short. So if I'd taken the short here, and I'm looking for minimum 200 ticks, right? 37. That's way above, like, yeah. So I would have probably adjusted my stop to about there, less to worry about. And then I'd be looking at where's the next 15-minute low, like for realsies. So I don't know. Let's start there. It's the next 15-minute low. Okay, so that's 15-minute low right there. That dropped quite nicely. I mean, seriously. So that'd have been fine right here. Nice. But I was not available for the PM. That's what, almost instant gratification if I just set it at the 0.2 there. Hey, kitty. Want attention? Who's your kitty? Give me that. Tufts of hair. At about 8 o'clock, I gotta give him his medicine. But if I think about like aiming, like proper aiming, like if we get past, actually I like to use like the 5-minute for that type of thing. So once we get past, we shift, let's use that low. So then 2.53, 2.5 would have given me, right? Oh, great. See, would have netted that 240, that's fine. And then I would have been in and out. Nice. Another opportunity here, run back up, stay inside the New York opening gap and drop. That's even sexier. That happened at just before 4. Dang, yeah, I wouldn't have been anywhere near that. But yeah, I need to like trust my instincts because I had could have taken a lot going up to here. But I was just so very focused on the money and not giving anything back. And I need to like adjust my mindset there. And it should be more about the setup and letting it work to fruition and then locking in profits once it's moved significantly. Like a $400, $500 move isn't much, right? When you really think about it in the grand scheme of things. That sucked. Anyway, so let's go. I'm going to pause. Gotta go to the potty. 1 sec. And I am back. I feel much better. Anyway, so that was Thursday. And that PM session short would have been nice, along with that lovely long. But I do want to take a look because I have like specific rules about shorts or longs, really, shifts, proper shifts. There's nothing in here. So maybe there was something that I'm not aware of on the higher time frame. So there was this 5-minute. Let's see. So the general gist is I would have wanted them to thoroughly like close bodies below it, like proper bodies, which they did. They didn't do it here, which is why I didn't trust it, but they did it here. And then came back up for a small thing, and then this guy. And then this busy wicks, but no body closures, so that would have made me feel good about it. The I wouldn't have liked this drop here. So what was this? Because I would have been entered somewhere around here. Meandering, meandering, very annoying, very annoying. So about what, 400 there to have it all come back, put me into a little bit of a negative, and then to drop beautifully. Man, how much time was that? 30. So I would have been tagged in here. So then about just shy of 3 o'clock. So I would have been meandering about in this for like 45 minutes or so, approximately. Dang, that sucked. Seriously, really, really, really would suck. Anyway, let's take a look at Wednesday. So let's see, what did I do on the 6th here? I took 3 trades and I went away with about 25, trying to catch this drop here. It was kind of stupid and I shouldn't have done it. Yeah, so I was trying to catch, I caught a little bit of this. But here's the entry that made the most sense to me that I was supposed to take, right? So I have a shift here, then they tapped into this fair value gap. So first things first, shift, complete disrespect of that. I should have felt comfortable. So they never came back down to the 0.79 for an entry there, so that was fine. Then we had a low, lower low, very thoroughly disrespected, right? And we had inside of the breaker, because this one's lower, so it's the one I'm more focused on, this inversion fair value gap along with the breaker, the bullish breaker. So this is where I took a paper trade on this and netted a nice sum off of that one. So this is the entry. Let me take this low, that high. So again, in this scenario, the 6-2, I return back into the inversion fair value gap because at this point I should trust that even if they wick below it, it shouldn't cause too much drama. And I would have been fine. Look at that. And then I would be looking for something up there. So I'm not gonna lie, like once I got over 200, I would be locking in my profits. 300, locking it in. I am not giving any of that back. So this BS right here, there's no way. Like 200, okay, we're up, we're up, we're up. 200 is right here. See if they lock in like the 160 this low, lock that in. 200, 220 still going up. Oh no. What? I haven't made that much yet, but it would have been a nice setup. I do believe if I were to take a low like this low and it broke over it, the 2 standard deviations right here, these two are pretty close, so that would have been nice. And it's been moving that much, right? Like it's been moving that much. So I should have felt comfortable with that. There was also a 1 hour fair value gap, and the midpoint was another place of serious interest that I would have been okay with. So something that I need to get comfortable with. But like I said, like over 300, I'm locking in over once it hit over 250, 324, whatever, I'd have probably just locked it in 300 and see if it's just going to keep going. like right under that calendar, right under there. And I would have just been okay because that's more than I've ever taken, right? And get comfortable with the concept of winning that much in one go because uh 200, 1,000, 300, was that 1,500 or so approximately? I know. Anyway, so that's the trade I should have taken. I got like 250 doing this and then not letting it run all the way down. Thought they would tap into that, but they didn't. And they did the shift, and I was like, that looks good. But I had a meeting and I didn't. I try to not do things when I'm distracted, so I didn't take it. And look at that beautiful, beautiful run. Um, see what the PM would have given us. This is messy. This is very, very gross and messy. So I would have taken this and been happy and not even engaged with this. Because what would I have been thinking? So 2 o'clock would have come around. We just dropped. So I most likely would have been looking at this SIBI and wondering if it was going to hold down the fort. General expectation would have been some sort of retracement. It tapped the 0.6 and then dropped. The sheer amount of adherence probably could have taken the short, but let's see. Would it have allowed me not to get stopped out? And then aiming for those lows. Wow, yeah. Choppy, but would have gotten it. This shift right here, another entry potential. Not bad. If, once they've got rejected off of this and there's a shift, sweep, shift, what? Waypoint drop. I mean, gotta get comfortable. This would have been the silver bullet for a nice drop below these lows. Indeed, indeed. But not pretty. And then that was what? The sixth. Let's go to the fifth. And I took too many trades. Not a ton. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I was just being stupid. So something that I'm working through in my mindset. All right, so what should I have done? So, because I think I was trying to go long for some stupid reason. I don't know why. Don't ask me. So we had all this drop. So right in here is where I got chopped up nicely. And it didn't actually give anything good until after, because it was just dropping. So when it's dropping like that, I should have felt comfortable. Let's see. So between 9:40 and 10 o'clock, like once we dropped, I should have felt comfortable taking something, but there's no real entry in here. And that retracement, 7-9, the shift under here, the 7-9 would have been there. Guess I could have, so once it dropped, take that first leg, I could have taken that and then, had my thing. It dropped nicely, so I would have just waited and I probably would have just been looking for that because everything's just dropping so well. Once it took out this low, I would have been a bit wary and I would have been locking in some profits. Oops. Susie. So let's see. So I would have been locking in some profits. So we got past the 800, 200. I would have locked in the 200 right there. And then probably right there. And then once it dropped below this low, then I would have been locking in more, like probably right there. And then once it dropped down below, then I would have been locking in some more right there. And then just waiting for it to drop. I'm not gonna lie, hold once we got close, 400, lock that in. I don't care because it's still way more than I would have made. That's what I should have done. But I think I was trying to go long and it didn't take out the highs to confirm the long. And I don't know, I was just being stupid. I didn't even, I, s- I didn't even, I should have just waited. I didn't, but it happens. Hmm. And then what did the PM session give us? More shorts. We're below midnight. So 1:45. So 2 o'clock, I had a bit of a sweep. Then a shift, fully just disrespecting that. I like that. So then I would have probably said, all right, if it came back up to the 7.9, then I could take a short, which it did, and then aim aim for at least 200 because it's so volatile. It just barely been like tagged in. Could have got 200. Just barely gotten 200 right there comfortably. And let's see, yeah. So I would have done that. And that would have been fine. Because once it's over 200, I'm locking it in. I don't care what happens for the most part. $1,000 is good each run. I mean, I'm not making that in a day, so anyway. So let's take a look. So that was the 5th, and then I got stopped out twice, and then a third trade that covered my losses. So I didn't get good stuff. So at least there was some green instead of just all red. So I think the expectations for versus this week and last week were still pretty good instead of just losing consistently. I managed to make some money, even if I made silly choices at the end of the week to lose some. So let's see. 10. Let's go to the 1 minute. So we're below the midnight and we're over here. So I wanted to go long, I think, inside of this, and I had a specific entry set up. So we had a sweep and then a shift. So we had a sweep of everything here, then a shift. And even though it was a wick, I still considered it in my stuff. And in my screenshot, I have this specked out right here. Because as long as my stop is below that wick, it's okay. And then I was looking to go like well above this, something like that. Like 165, because I think the way this moved back down, it took out this high, so I would have put my stop under here and been stopped out there with 124-ish. It's not too bad. And it took that high out, so I would have been wanting it to continue back up, but that's all I would have taken. But I ended up getting stopped out twice, where I bought and then sold and then bought to get about four something. So I caught some of this, I think, going up, but not all of it. So my ideal entry, and then I think I did my ideal entry on the paper account, and then I did, the smaller, like just run up about, in here. So I got about 445 of it. This is not great, but not the best. So with all of that, the primary takeaway in my mind at this point, and I'm gonna get big for this. So the primary takeaway. Oh, Kitty's back. You okay, buddy? Don't fall down. You okay, buddy? He's my good boy. He's my good boy. All right. So the primary takeaway for me for this week is setup. Still too focused on the dollar value of each trade, and that's something that needs to change. Um, the setup is more important, and maybe not moving my stop too prematurely. Um, but if I'm seeing certain behaviors, like for example, this is a shift, disrespect of this fair value gap, and no real push, respecting this, then close the trade. Move my stop up, close the trade. There's some scenarios where the way I handle my stop management works really well when the market is just just running and willing to do, but when it's meandering about, not cool. All right, so let's see, 145. Looking for probably, where's the midnight open? I think it's still above. So look at this price action. So we had a shift. This was at 2:30, 3 o'clock for a nice juicy drop. Still below the midnight open. For a higher time frame, where'd it go? Really think that's the low I need to worry about. That. And this is on the 15 minutes, so I would have been dealing with a lot of back and forth, but wow, I would still be in the green at the end of it. Because I guess once we shifted below this guy, ooh, it went to the 1.5 standard deviations there. If I use a different low, if I use this one against that one, so the 1.5, oh, so the two. So these two would have basically meshed together, I think. So there's a 1.5 for that one. Let me delete that. Yeah, that's perfect. So these two are perfectly melded, so that's where they stopped. And that would have been a cool 403 ticks right there. 407. Dang. And that's going off of the 15 minutes. So maybe if I can wait and be patient, I don't know. If I can trade that, I gotta try. Okay. Anyway, so let's see. Let's do this. And let's see where we are. Whoa. There's a big gap right here. Oops. Hold on. It's time to give the JoJo his medicine. I realized there was this huge gap on NQ1 that it just filled right in. Just perfectly. Just filled it right in. Is this Friday? Yeah, the opening gap, yeah. So it wanted to fill that in nicely. All right, so I'm just going to remove that and then oh, anyway, I think I was just looking at things without being able to showing you. But anyway, the general takeaway is that I need to focus more on the setups and manage my stop more appropriately instead of frantically locking in profits because I'm in a small amount of drawdown. Because there have been multiple scenarios this week where I would have taken a nice chunk if I'd just been calm and followed that. So I hope everybody is doing well and your process is your trading is going well. I think I'm definitely in a better place if even if I'm still working on the psychology of the whole thing, which, makes perfect sense. I'm trying to align myself where the camera is, so I'm looking directly at you. But just remember, you guys are amazing, you're beautiful, you're wonderful, and you are profitable. Just like I am profitable, I am disciplined, I am focused, and there's nothing in the world that's going to stop me from getting to where I need to go, even no hurdles. And I'm literally just gonna, I'm viewing this as I've started a new job and I'm learning the ropes of how that job works. And it's kind of hard too because it's a very volatile market conditions. And my lack of trust in the markets is a lot of the reason why I keep missing the good setups and taking silly ones. So that's something that I need to work out in my own mind, in my own process. And as soon as I get over that hump, I can just smell and feel and taste that profitability. So every day is a new opportunity to make more money and to learn more and to grow more. And that's the important part. Not focusing on whether or not you lost or won, but focusing on the positivities, the outcomes, where you see yourself, how, you know, what your future plans are going to be. Like me, I see myself on a beach enjoying the waves crashing, napping whenever I feel like it, going on vacation whenever I feel like it, just enjoying life, and not feeling like I'm locked in to that 8 hour or more everyday thing. One last thing, and this is just a thought on the whole 9 to 5 gigs that we all have. Like some of us work hourly, some of us work um, where we just get paid no matter how many hours we work. And I think that's a big, huge, glaring. I don't even know what the right word is. It's just bad, right? Because like, I'm some days I'm working 10 plus 12 plus, whatever hours as I need to get stuff done, but I'm not getting paid more for that extra time. I'm not getting paid for spending. Ooh, Kitty's back after getting some foods. I'm not getting paid more, after giving more of me and more of my time than is this the normal 8 hours versus folks who work like hourly and they get thing. But there's also not necessarily great things about that either, because a lot of these companies like to limit you in terms of how many hours because they only want to pay you so much, et cetera, et cetera. So none of that is great. So that's why and pretty much you too, if you're watching this video and you're day trading or swing trading or long term, whatever it is, you're not trying to live in this construct that they have us in. And it is a construct. He never used to make all these weird little noises. Yeah, but he does now. Anyway, I need to go give him his medicine. But my point is simple: escaping the construct, making your own money, taking the time that you need, living your life instead of basically lamenting the fact that you only have like maybe an hour or two before you fall asleep after work because you're so tired because you spent the whole day working. And I am sick and tired of that. I know you are. I know most people are. But some people don't, we don't even realize that we're locked into this construct. And that's what I'm trying to escape. And I am consistently grateful every day that I have my day job that pays my bills, that gives me the opportunity and lets me fund myself so I can do this, so I can eventually, in the next, I'm going to say 2 to 3 years, release myself from this. And that's the plan. Releasing myself because I want to just nap when I'm hungry. Oh, say that right. I want to nap after I've eaten and I'm just sleepy. Just take a nap. That's it. Choice. Anyway, enough ranting. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts on how the markets have been going, how your trading's going, and we'll talk soon. Okay. Shakira out.